Hello, you are listening to the Lifted to Life by Dana B podcast. I am Dana B. This podcast is not just about self-care, it's about discovering your authentic self. Don't let anyone dim your light. Shine as bright as you are. Walk in your coochie energy. Yeah, you heard me. You better walk in your coochie energy. I've talked about my two fashionista coworkers here on this podcast, but one of them specifically is a true couture connoisseur. She is a couture queen down to the shoes, down to the purses, down to the jewelry. She is a 51-year-old queen, or as she calls herself, goddess. Every time she walks into our workspace, her cubicle is just across from mine. I can hear her as she walks down that aisle towards her cubicle. And the ritual that we both have is she comes in, she walks into my cubicle. Hey, sis. And we get up, we hug each other and give each other air kisses. And her famous line every time she walks into my cubicle is, don't worry about it, get into it. Meaning, don't worry about it, get into the look that she is wearing. And every single time she comes into my cubicle saying that famous line of hers, I respond simply with saying, yes, sis, you better do it. And she'll say, get into the shoes. Do you see the shoes? Oh my God, come on now, sis, you better do that thing. Don't worry about it, get into it. So the other day when she came into the office, same ritual, don't worry about it, get into it. She's wearing this beautiful white ensemble, if you will, this long white linen skirt and this white linen jacket to match. And the cuffs of the jacket were ostrich feathers. She had on this beautiful statement piece necklace with earrings to match and a purse to go with that ensemble as well. And she looked amazing. Now, some of you will think, well, don't you think that's a bit outrageous to wear to work? No, I don't. You know, when before COVID hit, we were in what we call our typical office uniform. Now, my coworker, she does not wear typical office attire. You know, your slacks and your blazers or your skirts and your blazers. No, honey, if you have the clothes, wear them. That's her basic point of view. If you have the clothes, wear them. There is no special occasion. Life is a special occasion. Waking up in your right mind, that is a special occasion. Wear the clothes. Now, you don't have to wear a gown to the office, no, but wear the clothes. Wear that fragrance, wear that jewelry, carry that purse, wear those shoes, wear the clothes. So she goes throughout the day with her compliments from people, co-workers, customers, people coming to her cubicle to ask something, but then complimenting her on this beautiful white ensemble that she was wearing. So coming from a meeting, she's walking past the elevator banks and she encounters this female colleague, not sure which office this woman works in, but she's telling me the story of how she's seen the woman around before. So the woman is standing at the elevator banks and my coworker is walking past the elevator banks. And the woman says to her, where are you going? And my coworker goes, I'm going back to my desk. She said, are you going to a wedding or something? And my coworker says, no, I'm at work. I'm going back to my desk. She says, well, don't you think what you have on is a bit too much? And my coworker says, no, I don't. She says, well, I think it's a bit much. And she says, who are you? What's your name? And she says, oh, I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess is what she said in response to this person asking her who she was. Now, the coworker or the lady had a young little girl with her. And the little girl just randomly hugs my coworker. And so then she goes, well, you have a nice day. And my coworker's making her way back to her cubicle. But as she's walking away, another colleague comes towards the elevator banks. And that lady says to the colleague or the coworker says, some people just wear, it's just too much. And the one coworker says, I mean, some people just be doing the most. Wow. Don't let anyone dim your light. Shine as bright as you are, walking in your coochie energy. So as my colleague is telling me the story of her encounter with this woman, I say to her, you know what? There are women out there who are so envious of the fact that they can't. So they negatively say things to you because they can't. They don't have the kahunas to pull it off. They don't have the gumption to wear what you're wearing. They're fearful of what people might say if they wear something or that particular attire, the ensemble that she is wearing. They're jealous of the fact that they can't have that how dare I moment. Yes, I dare. And I told her that's the reason why so many women walk around with their lights flickering, dim, or burned out. Because they not dare to walk in their feminine coochie energy. What my coworker has done for me, and I told y'all, being in my 50s, being 52, and in this menopause has created these roller coasters, this roller coaster of emotion that one day I'm happy and one day I'm sad. One day I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this menopause. I've gained all this hormonal weight. I feel ugly. She's given me, my coworker has reignited me. Her light has influenced me to be brighter, to walk in what Dr. Stacii Jae Johnson dubs as my coochie energy. Yeah, walking in my coochie energy. So my coworker would say to me simply, just because we are over 50 and our bodies are changing, our minds are changing, does not mean that our light has to be dim. That we must step into this newness, this new feeling, this new emotion, this new thoughts, this new level of our feminine energy and let it shine so bright. So these past few weeks, I have been walking in my coochie energy. Now, before that, I had been sitting in my closet one week, crying my eyes out over this hormonal weight gain, the emotional roller coaster that I was on with this menopause, and eventually emerging anew and deciding that, you know what? This is a great opportunity for me to explore my fashion sense and the latest styles and trends to revamp my entire wardrobe. And that's exactly what I have been doing. Every week has been an adventure in picking out new shoes, new skirts, new pants, new blouses, new colors, new jewelry, everything. And a couple weeks ago, as I slid on those new pants and that fitted blouse and those heels and that purse to match, baby, when I was walking and strutting and walking in my coochie energy, I felt amazing. I felt alive. I felt renewed, if you will. Because even though this hormonal weight is here, baby, I am going to wear it with pride, and this coochie energy, this feminine energy is going to spew and ooze off of me with such radiance that people around me will gravitate to me. Rediscovering my femininity has been so exhilarating. Rediscovering my femininity and roughly having that come to Jesus moment with myself and saying that this is who you are. Step into this person, be who you are fully, and do not let anything or anyone dim the bright light that you are. You walk into a room, as the words of Nene Leakes, and you own that room. So let's talk about understanding, first of all, walking in our coochie energy. Dr. Stacii Jae Johnson has a TED Talk on YouTube talking about the vagina kinetics and understanding that as women, we are powerfully amazing human beings. Like when you think about the vagina and the things that, well, not even just the vagina, that as a woman, period, the things that we can do, that our body produces. Number one, we give birth. We give life. We push out life out of our vaginas, right? We menstruate, we ovulate to become impregnated, and we push out life. That is an awesome power right there. And after we birth life, that life then feeds from us via breastfeeding. Baby, that's powerful. That's number one, as far as why we should walk not only in our coochie energy. Two, we should never let anybody dim our light. Why? Because I am woman. How do you tap into your feminine energy? Well, first you must practice self-care. Engage in activities that nourish and rejuvenate you, such as taking a bath, spending time in nature, please touch grass, and engaging in creative pursuits. Don't be afraid to be who you are. Walk into each and every space as your authentic self. Connect with your emotions. Allow yourself to feel and express your emotions without judgment. And I'll be doing a podcast on connecting with your emotions later on in the season. But it's important to recognize those emotions that come. Practice mindfulness. Engage in activities like meditation, breath work, or journaling to connect with your inner self. Remember, I said back up and breathe. Prioritize rest. Make time for rest and relaxation, as this is an essential for replenishing your energy and allowing for creativity. Listen, 8 hours of sleep is the best way to be relaxed and rejuvenated. Cultivate self-love and acceptance. Practice self-compassion and celebrate your unique qualities. Always, I suggest getting in the mirror and giving yourself a hug on a daily and telling yourself, I love you. One sunny day in Washington, D.C., I was out to brunch with my sisters. And I had on this really cute sundress, sandals to match. My hair was in knotless braids and down the center of my back. And I was strutting, honey. I was walking. I was strutting. And my sister, my older sister, said to me, why are you walking like that? I said to her, oh, I'm walking in my coochie energy. And her and my younger sister said to me, what? I said, I'm walking in my coochie energy. So both of them were saying to me or asking me, what does that mean? And I told them, I said, say it to yourself as you're walking down the street and watch how your posture changes. Your walk changes. When you're walking in that level of femininity and your coochie energy, you will see how your posture changes, your head's held high. Honey, you might have a little bit of a switch going on or more of a switch going on. So as we're walking down the streets of Washington, D.C., and I said, say it to yourself. I'm walking in my coochie energy. And I got this from Dr. Stacii Jae Johnson. Walking in my coochie energy. I'm walking in my coochie energy. So as we were walking down the street, my sister's strut began to change as they said that. Walking in my coochie energy. Walking in my coochie energy. Saying that as we walk down the street, honey, and just our level of confidence had grown. Our strides were wider. Our hips were moving as we walked in our coochie energy. So before I end today's episode, I want to read the famous poem by poet laureate Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken, bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries? Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts from my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. This ends this week's episode, and I really, really thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Continue to send me those emails at liftedtolife@gmail.com. I really enjoy reading them. I will see you all next week, and have a wonderful day.